Huge street takeover in Portland, Oregon. Disrupts a Portland neighborhood. What do the police do? Well, they're wildly understaffed, so they basically monitor by watching said illegal event from about a block away, because that's all they can do. Let's get into it. Here we go. Let's watch a quick video.
Living and working in that area concerned.
Yeah, David, Christine, I'm told that they're not just worried about the safety of their staff, but also their customers after this all went down on Sunday. Now, take a look at this. I want to show you there's graffiti still left.
What do you think that says? What do you think that piece of graffiti there says? I mean, I have no idea. When she... Spoiler alert, I do know what it says, but getting that out of that, I guess I'm just old. I'm old.
From the event that, of course, as you read there, says Takeover. And also what's left from Sunday's event is the tire markings from the cars that participated that brought chaos to Southeast Morrison.
Scored the asphalt.
What really strikes me is how
Look at this.
It is, how close those cars are.
Dramatic
Yeah.
video.
Look at that. Look at that. I mean, this is all the way around. This is under Morrison Street Bridge, right? You got a few hundred people there. I mean, how many cops is that going to take? A lot more than Portland had at the time, right? That's why they basically can just monitor. Well, I hope this doesn't go sideways, because if it does, we're effed. We're going to have to call in who else to come in, because they don't have bodies to make this go.
By a nearby business off Southeast 2nd in Morrison shows Portland's most recent street takeover. That left businesses and their customers scared for their safety.
We've been reporting on this for, like I say, the entire 10 years, over 3 different mayors' administrations.
Bridget Blackburn is the co-owner of Cargo and one of the shops that was open during Sunday's street takeover.
We had some...
Let's go back for a second. Let's go. All right. So you made it into the shop and you're just milling around. And then you hear the beginning of this street takeover starting to take place outside. And you're like, this is a great, we'll pick this 50-cent item over here. This is really cool. And then you look out the window. What in the F are those people doing? Yeah. Shopping in a store like this for any of these items, not conducive with the knuckleheads outside doing those cool burnouts. That just doesn't appeal to me. It's like, what kind of knucklehead are you? You're an idiot. You're going in circles for one thing, and you're just chewing up your I mean, you know what I mean? At least be a man and take it off a jump like Evel Knievel. You know what I mean? Portland. Any of these street takeovers, I know they're supposed to be so cool, but they're just not. It's so ridiculous. But then you've got people like this lady here in this store. And she's like, this is terrible. Well, you voted a bunch of knuckleheads into office, and they're clearly totally incompetent at their job, and they recommended defunding the police, and you did that. Now you don't have enough cops, and you're like, this isn't good for my store. Right? I mean, am I right?
We had some of our team members trying to get out through it and find themselves right in the center of it. And there's nothing
terrible.
To do when you're in that spot. You're just
terrible.
Enough to where we got quite a few
police
calls for assistance.
Ty Ingstrom with Portland Police says officers were monitoring the situation with flashing lights to make themselves known, but didn't have enough officers to do more.
Didn't have enough cops. Do you know how many cops it would take to control that crowd? You can't just have a couple of police cars roll up, and that's probably all they had available. Because some of these, in like a Sunday shift, you might have just a handful of people to cover downtown. Literally a handful of people. You have so few cops in Portland. And, half of them are off. All right, we got a murder, we got a raping, and we've got a whatever. Somebody got shot. They're working on actual cars, so on actual calls, not cars. While these cars are, being driven by a bunch of knuckleheads, spinning. The whole thing is just...
Can't send a couple police officers in to remedy a situation that's got hundreds of people and involves speeding dangerous vehicles.
So basic. You can't take a couple of cops and control that situation. So what does Portland do? It watches. You like watching? You like watching? Yeah, let's watch this criminal activity go down here. I mean, that's all that they can do at this point, because you can't flood the area with cops because you don't have them. Businesses, you supported this by your choice in politicians, because other cities didn't go down this road of, hey, you know what, be a good idea. Let's just, decriminalize everything. We'll decriminalize all the drugs. We'll just let knuckleheads run around and, drive their cars like complete imbeciles. Spinning around. I don't know why I keep going over that. It's just so dumb. It's like, all right, let's close off the intersection. We'll all stand around almost close enough to get hit. And then the guys will drive their cars really fast in a circle, and there'll be a lot of smoke coming up. And you're left with, that's like an event for you? What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? Do something. Circles? Literally, we used to make fun of people going in circles, right? You're just kind of going in circles there, meaning you're not getting anywhere. But now, clearly, it's, something to be admired.
BB points out these crowds often bring firearms and are hostile to police.
What?
And in the past, have vandalized vehicles with officers.
We've seen that.
I mean, as frustrating as it is and as unsatisfying as it is, I do actually understand it. We do know how understaffed PPP is and how long that's been the case.
And so I want them to know that we are doing what we can with the resources we have. We do.
Which ain't much. Sorry, Lieutenant. I forget his name. But he's spitting the truth. He's telling the absolute truth here, which is the bare bones numbers to take care of this scenario ain't happening. Can't do anything. We're just watching from a block down the road. We're going to flick our lights on and off, let them know we're here. Hey, guys, you see us? All right. Keep it cool, and we won't do anything because we can't do anything. We don't have the numbers. This is the exact same thing Seattle police will be up against if we had a big event like this. This is the exact same thing. And then, people in Seattle would go, where are all the police? What happened to the police? I keep hearing that, we don't have enough police, but what does that really mean? Seattle Times will have a big, diagnosis. Well, they could have done this and this. Nah, you defunded the police. You crapped on policing as a profession. And this is what you get. You got to watch, right? Hey, you got to watch. Just watch. Oh yeah. Good Lord. There's smoke coming out of that one really well. Nuts.
Missions on a regular basis around the city. We try and target some of these areas where the most dangerous driving behaviors are taking place. We'll get lots of officers together. We'll get a plane up above, and we will go after them. We will make arrests.
Fair enough.
Now, PPB does tell me that they made no arrests over the weekend, though they do add that officers will continue to address both small and large pop-up events in the future. Back to you guys.
So dangerous. You never know what will happen during those street takeover events. Thank you for your report.
So dangerous, but we don't have enough police to adequately contain them. So we just literally watch from a block down the road. See if we got any more video or more. That's a lot of people. What is that? Is that 300 people? 200, 300? That's got to be at least 200 people, right? I mean, just that whole thing. I mean, you want to take it to the racetrack on amateur day, amateur night, whatever. You know what I mean? But this is a street. You got businesses. People should be walking down these streets. Instead, you got this little scene here. It's just, it's just insanity, right? No, we're going to look at those pictures. Yeah, I was going to go like that. Nope, apparently we're not. Is that not working? Oh, here we go. All right, here's some more. Bunch of Portland's finest. Great. There's the cops posted up, watching. All right, you get to watch. Because you got 4 cops there, right? You're not going to take on, even if they each have two police officers in each of those vehicles. You got 8 cops versus 300 knuckleheads that are already, in a criminal activity. You're going to go out and just arrest them all? I mean, no. You got protocol for this. This is a major, major event. And guess what you're going to do? You're going to do nothing. You're going to sit on your hands. You're going to flick your lights, whatever else is that they do. Maybe a little call over the loudspeaker if somebody really gets reckless and, does a 720 and then a 360 back to back. I don't even know what they do, right? It's, to me, yeah, I like cars. Don't get me wrong. I like cars. I am in the process I'm working on the engines of my boat, and they're diesel. They're Cummins 6 BTA. They're massive 330 horsepower each engine. They're turbocharged. I like vehicles. I like seeing my big blue diesel exhaust go all over on Seattleites as I drive by them. But I'm not out doing illegal stuff. It just doesn't do anything for me. But whatever. I know it's a new generation that has no respect, and they're out just doing a bunch of illegal stuff. It's what we get in these big blue, urban cities, right? Street takeover at the intersection of 2nd and Morrison near City Liquidators on Sunday evening. And it wasn't even evening. It was like 4:00 in the afternoon. Caused alarm among local residents and businesses. I have concern. Those guys zooming around in circles, endlessly smoking their tires, some of them with guns. They're concerning to me. My patrons of my business, they do not enjoy that. They want to look at their glass, whatever it is, item for 50 cents. Portland Police Bureau confirmed the event, noting that participants were revving engines and spinning tires. Yeah, you're going to spend tires, gas, oil on that. Okay. All right. Whatever. We treat these events as crowd control events, said a spokesperson for the Portland Police Bureau. We need adequate resources to address them, which they don't have, period. That's sad. Due to a lack of available officers, police were unable to fully intervene. They were unable to intervene at all. They did not intervene. They literally got stuck on the sideline watching, because that's the protocol. If you don't have enough to go in and do your thing, don't do it. That's just, there are rules. We live in a society. There are rules. And the police can't go in unless they've got enough folks, and they clearly did not have enough folks. The event began around 4 p.m. on a Sunday, and police managed to shut it down by approximately 8 p.m. This must have been the folks that actually had to go to work on Monday. Weekend warriors, just wrenching away, and then they just wanted to get a little activity in between before Monday, before they went back to the office. Few officers were dispatched to monitor the situation from a block away with their lights on, which encouraged some participants to leave, though not all complied. Officers remained in the area until the event fizzled out and people left. Okay, let's talk about that for a second. So that is best case scenario. That is all went as planned. Bunch of cops are standing around looking at each other going, if this gets out of, and they face this all the time. Because you've got events like this happening all the time. We have them in Seattle all the time. Most of the time, nobody gets hurt. Every now and then, somebody will get, they'll stand too close and that car will just go out of control and boom, you got people, launched into the air. I find that part kind of amusing because, F around and find out. And they're finding out, getting launched into the air. I'm okay with that. Maybe you'll learn your lesson and maybe you want to, be involved in these. But the event fizzled out and people left. Okay, so people are like, gotta go to work. Enough of the tire spinning. Enough of the whatever. We gotta go home. We gotta get up early tomorrow and go to work. So they got lucky. The cops got lucky. That is ideal. How about when it doesn't go that way? Let's see. People already doing a bunch of illegal nonsense. They've oftentimes got guns. They don't like cops because this is anti-establishment type folks. They want to be outlaws. They want to do their own thing. So that's their attitude. How about when they don't leave? Yeah. See that in LA, see that in Chicago all the time. They're not leaving. What are we going to do? Well, that's when you got to bring the big guns out. But you don't have them in Portland. And Portland's basically isolated itself. All the other adjacent police outfits, I want to say, the other cities nearby, they ain't coming to Portland's rescue. They're just not. Portland has basically isolated itself because of some terrible, terrible, terrible policy. During the incident, employees at nearby businesses expressed nervousness about leaving for their cars. I would like to leave the store, my form of employment, but I want to go out to my car. It's right over there, but all these people are out there. I don't want to have to, fair enough. Nobody wants to leave their job and get assaulted. Nobody wants that. Officers ensured their safe departure from the area. All right. So that's the cops doing what they can do. Okay. Hey, want to get to your car safely? Well, I'll give you an escort. So they, walk them over or whatever. The Portland Police Bureau reminded the community that street takeovers can result in jail time, fines, and towed vehicles. Oregon Revised Statute 811.127 addresses individuals who facilitate or aid in speed racing or reckless driving on a highway, with the first offense being a misdemeanor. You know what? Screw that. Make it a felony right off the bat, minimum 5 years incarceration. Just boom. You know what? You know what would happen? You would stop this nonsense very quickly, but we're not doing that. And the second offense, a felony, if committed within 5 years of the first. Make the first one a felony, automatic jail time. You'll cut down on the foolishness going on here. The foolishness with the communities, the store owners going, I am concerned. I have great concern about what's going. Yeah, because you got a bunch of, mentally incapacitated people doing donuts in a public street and a whole bunch of their friends looking on going, it's the greatest thing ever, till they get hit. And it doesn't make it onto their Instagram story, right? In addition to state statutes, Portland City Code addresses this dangerous activity. It's a dangerous, and we have concern, but not enough police officers. We don't have that. An unlawful street takeover event is defined as a unpermitted, pre-planned, or coordinated activity involving the maneuverability or power of motor vehicles in a curved or circular direction. I have never read the definition of a street takeover. You know why? Because it's illegal and I don't really care about it. And I don't have a car. If I had a car that I thought was really cool and I was brought up a different way, I could see how this would be appealing. Hey, let's go out there and let's just do donuts until our heart's content. And we'll have a whole bunch of people watch us and we'll get kind of famous and post it on our Instagram stories. We'll post it on TikTok. It's going to be the greatest day of our lives, night of our evenings. Like, what? No. Portland Police Bureau has updated its vehicles towing policy, authorizing towing for drivers operating vehicles without valid driving privileges, lack of insurance, and to address street takeovers. All right. Can you imagine within this crowd here, somebody's got a car, trying to get that car out of there with a tow truck? That ain't happening either, right? It's more paper tiger nonsense, right? While the policy allows for tows in circumstances where they were not permitted before, it does not require them in most cases. Policy encourages discretion in impounding vehicles. You know what? If somebody is doing the street racing thing, if they're doing this deal, impound their car, just automatic impound, and give them 5 years. Just, maybe a warning first time off, but then second time, no, 5 years for you, felony arrest, maybe let your friends know we're not doing this anymore. And that would slow it down. It really would. It really would. And so you've got impounding vehicles under circumstances that may create undue hardship or risk to the occupants. Yeah, what are you talking? Just impound it. Don't care. Such as the presence of young children. Okay, have the cops take them out. Elderly or disabled people or vehicles used as homes. See, that's where you get into this whole, well, this is my home, you can't tow it. You get into that issue, right? I live in my home and it's Portland. So they're like, oh, of course you do. Everybody lives in their car. Or just on a tent on the street right over there. It's Morrison Street, right? Members of the public are encouraged to verify that their driver's license is current and valid and that they have current proof of insurance before driving on public roads. Boy, that's a public service announcement right there, isn't it? How about don't do donuts in the middle of a public street while business is going on? Don't ever do that. But least of all, I mean, if you're going to do it, Do it in an industrial area where people aren't sleeping in the middle of the night, and just do whatever you want. You know what I mean? Just, what are you doing? People are going to do whatever they want anyway, right? Maybe try not to bother others, but that's not a concern. If you're having fun and you're drinking it up and you're doing whatever and all your buddies are around, you know, I like to make fun of street takeovers because I think they're just absolutely ridiculous. They have no purpose. It's like, oh, look at that car. Look at the traction on that car. Look at the way that thing is just sliding around the corner. I mean, it's just going. Oh, that's beauty. Nah, that's stupid. It's just dumb. Sorry. If you're a car guy and you think this is the greatest thing ever, you know, maybe Tokyo Drift is more your style, right? I'm more of a Bigfoot kind of guy, meaning take Bigfoot the truck and drive over all these little, whatever they are, rockets. All right. That's it for me. Bottom line is, cops didn't have enough personnel because you defunded the police, you demonized policing, not enough cops. And when you have, at some point in time, Portland, Seattle, San Fran, wherever, you're going to have a massive event, and it's going to expose exactly what I'm talking about, which is a public safety event where there simply aren't enough police officers. And that's going to put this situation under the microscope. And you know what people are going to do? Why don't we have enough cops? I don't get it. We need to spend some more money and make policing more of a occupation where we can encourage people, because clearly we need more cops. In the meantime, all we can do is kind of make fun of it, because that's about all you got, right? It's about all you got. All right. And a tow truck. Tow that bastard out of here. Thanks so much for watching. That's it for me on this one. I'll catch up with you in the next one. Bye for now.